Your body may be gone, I'm gonna carry you in my head, in my heart, in my soul. And maybe we'll get lucky and we'll both live again. Well, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, don't think so. Well, that is that, and this is this. You tell me what you want and I tell you what you get away from me. You get away from me. Collected my belongings and I left the jail. Well, thanks for the time, had to think a spell, had to think a while, had to think a while. The ocean breeze, salty, won't you carry it in your head, in your mouth, in your soul? And maybe we'll get lucky and we'll both grow old. Well, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I hope so. Well, that is that, and this is this. You tell me what you want and I tell you what you get away from me. You get away from me. Collected my belongings and I left the jail. Well, thanks for the time, had to think a spell, had to think a while, had to think a while. Well, that is that, and this is this. Will you tell me what you saw when I tell you what you missed when the ocean met the sky? You missed when time and life shook hands and said goodbye. When the earth folded in on itself. For your sake, I hope you're really in heaven. Are you really there? Well, I won't hold my breath. You wasted life, why wouldn't you waste death? You wasted life, why wouldn't you waste death? The ocean breeze, salty, won't you carry it in your head, in your mouth, in your soul? The more we move ahead, the more we're stuck in rewind. Well, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I hope so. Well, that is that, and this is this. You tell me what you want and I tell you what you get away from me. You get away from me. Collected my belongings and I left the jail. Well, thanks for the time, had to think a spell, had to think a while, had to think a while.
Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Loudmouths. Please welcome to the stage your host, Sharon Resolution.
Let's try that again. Hold on.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. Hold on. There we go. Welcome to Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Loudmouths. Please welcome to the stage your host, Sharon Resolution.
Oh my God. Thank you for being here. I know we had to do the second try. Yeah, it's always the college try. Welcome once again to Loudmouths, where we bring the comedy and the poetry onto the same stage. I am your host, Sharon Resolution, and I am a poet. Just to let you know, comedy is a side thought to me because I don't do it that well. That's why I got people that do it for me better than me. So that's the reason. So I got some interesting two comics here for y'all. Testicles and Melissa McGillicuddy. And I got one poet here named Corey Vance. He's been a long time person come to all these shows here. So we're gonna bring him up in a little bit. But like I said, I am a poet. So I will start us off with a little poetry to get this thing rolling. All right. There was a banana and a strawberry that met at a fruit bowl. They talked about their interests and goals. The banana and strawberry walked over to the counter, and the banana started to peel. The strawberry was aroused by the big, tall banana. They both took a dip into the yogurt bowl, swam around, and came back up. And as the banana started to dry, the strawberry was aroused. "Oh, banana, you're so fine. I think I want to blend with you." Caught by surprise, the banana said, "I think I want to blend with you too." The banana caressed the strawberry's seeded exterior, which started a swirl in the yogurt bowl. And it started to swirl and swirl and swirl. Ooh, banana, ooh, strawberry. The swirling became intense. The swirling became so intense that they started to merge and split and split and merge and merge and split. Oh my gosh, and merge and split. This is incredible. Merge and split. I can't believe it. Merge and split. It came swirling around, merging, splitting, going up and down, flying all over the place, swirling like a big swirl of whirlpool power. This tsunami going around to the point where it reached its apex. And the sun began to set. And the flowers began to bloom. And the world went silent. Until they began to speak. We're gonna smoothie! And this is why Jamba Juice is more than a family establishment. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think it's about time to get this thing started. Coming to the stage, you know her as Tess. I know her as a comedian phenomenon. Right now, she has shows from here all the way out to the Grass Valley. Yes, Grass Valley. If you don't know where that's at, then you might need to get on her calendar. I give you Testicle!
What's up, Stab? How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, give it up for yourselves. You're out on a hump day. No one's getting humped. That's fucking sad, including myself. So I recently turned 48. Thank you, thank you. But things have changed in my life, okay? It's not for the weak of heart. Dating, talks, sex, it's just not the same. You know what I mean? It's just some things we've been pondering these days, you know, in conversations, me and my girlfriends. I'm fixed, right? I'm going to come across a guy who's also been fixed at this age, if he was smart at some point in his life, right? But I'm curious, because I'm a big show kind of a girl. Is it like dry heaving, where it's like all the motion, but nothing comes out? I just want to set myself up for failure now, you know what I mean? It's a question that hasn't been answered yet, you know? But the other thing that we've been wondering about on the flip side for women, right? You squirters, okay? I am not, all right? Is it like a lake over time? Does it dry out? And then you guys are just like normal wet and we're taking like supplements and shit? It's just where my mind goes these days. Conversations, debates, like I said. But the biggest one, okay, has been how our pussy lips are no longer aligned, right? How one hangs longer than the other. Girlfriends are fucked up over that shit, right? They're down there with mirrors, checking it out. We're going through debates. I'm like, look, I realize, ladies, okay? They're like eyebrows, all right? They're sisters. They're not twins. And once you lay down, they don't really give a fuck. Okay, gentlemen, I've heard yours haven't been the same since puberty. And we've been sucking on them for years. I personally enjoy it, just saying. You'll hear about it later. But that's where it's been, you know, conversations, you know, things we've been pondering, debating, you know. It's not for the faint of heart. Waitresses come by, they're like, what the fuck are they talking about? You know what I mean? Just saying. Let's see, what else? Anyone else date during the pandemic? I did too. Still a little lightweight fucked up from it. Yeah. I was in 2 long-term relationships. One 9 years, one 11 years. Okay, both produced a child, right? Came out, dated again. It was a whole different shit during the pandemic. You didn't go on dates. You went straight to Netflix and chill. Day one. You know what I mean? You had to go prepared, shaved, good panties. There was no, I'm going to hold off. Wear the bad chonies, you know? Make them wait a little bit. There was no time for all that, you know? You went straight into it. Got in those awkward relationships, right? I did anyways. Like I said, I'm still fucked up. So I went into it old school minded, you know? That one-on-one type shit. Kind of came out of it new school minded. I'm all about that polyamory lifestyle now. Tired of waiting on one. If it takes 2, 3, maybe 4 to fill that roster, we'll see where it goes, right? Team Tess, right? That's where I'm at now. So I've decided to open it up. I brought applications. Gentlemen, see me after the show, okay? But like I said, I was old school minded. I don't want none of that sister wife shit. I want me some brother husbands. Yeah. 2, 3, maybe 4 that are confident in sharing me and my bills. There are plenty of both to go around. Okay? I had a comic tell me the other day, he goes, hey, I'll take Taco Tuesdays and the Metro bill. Fucker. Cheapos, you know what I mean? But there's a slot for them too. Got to get down for my D these days. You know, guys my age, like I said, I'm also a chubby chaser by heart. Okay, if you look like a panda sitting on the side of my bed, be still my heart. Okay, if you're doing that George Costanza pose when I come in the door, boom, you're getting some tonight. Confidence goes a long way with me, okay? Got to be too something to do something. That's all I'm going to say. Ladies, if you haven't tried you a fluffy one, go try one, okay? Dated me a heavyweight wrestler in high school. Gave me my first O. Okay? Looked like Yogi Bear looking for his picnic basket in that fucking car. I hid that picnic basket all summer long after that, okay? Try a big guy's thigh. You're just going to wish I should have vibrations. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm all about that clean sex these days. You know? I'm watching how close those fingers get to that wasabi when we're on that sushi date. If you're choosing that hot powder on your popcorn when we're at the movies. Or if you're going to town on those Takis on that Netflix and chill night. Remember I talked about that earlier. Yeah, you're going to wash your hands 5 times. You're going to use hand sanitizer in front of me as proof of life before you touch my lady bits, okay? Because yo soy picante solo. I do not need any added fucking condiments. Save that shit, okay? But dating has always, these days, has reminded me of shopping at Goodwill. Yeah. I'm looking for that less damaged item that doesn't smell like pee. But I'm willing to invest. Okay? OxyClean and Fabuloso get a lot of shit out these days. Right? The other day I was going into happy hour with my girlfriends and seen this fine ass guy who was kind of doing a little jog. I'm like, ooh, let me catch up. Show before I go in. You know what I mean? I'm all about that. Think about it later. You know? Air guitar. Just saying. But then he goes and turns the corner and I realize he's a fucking tweaker. His jaw's going a mile a minute, you know? But those are the ones you want to just take home, wash up with some OxyClean and Fabuloso and pray. Like I said, it's not for the faint of heart these days, people. Okay? Getting down from ID, like I said, some guys need added enhancements. If you need Pornhub, I'm okay with that. But if you require 2 hours, I'm going to call you ahead of time. Get that shit started. I'm an HR manager by day. I do comedy at night. And I'm a mom in between. And it's football season for him. So I don't got time for all that shit. Okay? I'll get down from my D, but we're on a time limit. So be courteous. Okay? If you require toys, I will come, bag of tricks and all. Okay? We'll have a conversation before. I got Amazon Prime. Next day delivery. We're good. I set myself up for success, people. Okay? If you need the midget, I'm okay with that too. As long as it's a dude. Like I said, brother husbands. That's right. Micro Midget Wrestling was in town in September. I had ringside tickets. Yep, I got an application pending. Waiting for that credit score. Just saying. Yeah, you're going to show me credit scores. You may have to show me the crop, some Venmo receipts, whatever tangible way you're going to show me your income, but we need to see those credit scores. Okay, I got to make sure you can handle me and all my bills. So this is a public service announcement to all you gentlemen, okay? Make sure the dick equivalates to the distance. Had a guy call me up on a Tuesday night, said, I got a room in Reno, come up. Unless you got to fuck me into a 2-day coma, waking up asking what day of the fucking week it is, I ain't going nowhere for 2+ hours. Okay? So if you are a meet me halfway dick, we will establish that in the beginning. Yeah. If you are a come all the way to me dick, I think you're going to know that, but I got no problem reminding you. So until I fill all my roster and gas prices goes down, guys, be courteous and make sure the dick equivalates to the distance, okay? So anyone else struggle with their inner cochina? That's an inner Mexican hoe. It translates to many nationalities. Are we there yet? We're there? Okay, okay. Over the years, me and this bitch, we've gone through some shit. Okay? I put her in timeout, like, no, 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 don't touch me there. It's my no-no square. Let's remember that. Chant that, okay? I had to walk her off the ledge. Like, we're going to fucking catch something, or we're not going to come out of this alive. Like, something's going to happen here. I have bad juju about this. And then I've given her high fives. Like, whoo, that was a great time. Let's hope he calls, you know, kind of a situation. But this one time I had to defend her. So like I said, I like big dudes. Some of my guys need added enhancements. So I'm in a bar talking to my girlfriend, telling her about one of my issues. She likes to get that male perspective, if you will. And in walks Warren. She brings Warren up to speed. She goes, Warren, what do you think her problem is? He goes, well, you just don't know what you're doing, little mama. The inner cochina in me, her head spun around like the exorcist. She turned to me and said, he doesn't fucking know us. I looked at Warren and I said, Warren, I've been sucking dick since the '88 Olympics. I still hold motherfucking records. They've been asking for this pretty little mouth to come out of retirement since the 90s. And apparently that wasn't good enough because she excused me to the side and said, let me introduce myself, Warren. I'm a throat goat. I'm a dick devourer, a sword swallower, a fellatio freak. I'm the master of the motherfucking pink karaoke machine. I'm a gulping goddess, a sack sucker, a gooch goblin. I'm a chorizo chomper. I'm a cabeza cabrona. It's all right, guys. I'm a headaholic. I'm in therapy. It's all good. So I looked at Warren. I said, Warren, I've done my research and development, and I have my Yelp reviews to prove that this little mama knows what she's doing. And I realize I'm yelling this at the top of my lungs in a bar, and a line has formed out the door. It's going to be a long night, everybody. That's my time. I'm Tess Tickles. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram at followmyfunny.
You're the ones getting for Tess Tickles. The Chalupa Champa. Or Chimichanga. Okay, there you go. Chimichanga Champa. All right. Oh God. I'd be laughing in the background. It's like, damn. 1988, that's Los Angeles. God damn, that's Los Angeles Olympics. God dang. Gotta bring some Olympics into it. Shoot. Oh. So my I've been distracted. Yes, that was a lot of head talk. Had me thinking like, damn, where's the line at? Shoot. This may seem rude. Talking slowly just sounds crude, but I bet the conversation I gotta do what I gotta do. I get so excited speaking word piles. Words slip off my lips and become Scrabble tiles. 20 points for landing on double word space. A taste. Playing Scrabble at my place. Is it absurd that my actions need verbs? That have so much to say, but none of it's heard? Psst. A dumb with no ventriloquist. You think she'll get the gist? We'll be too wrong if I can't too strong. I say, hey, you! Hey, Chalupa. No. I wish my vocabulary was dense, so it wouldn't take me so long to state my intent. See, a way would be nice. A wink would be great. A hi would be fine. Just get me on base. You see, when I talk to the ladies, they go, huh? What? Then I stand there and I get stuck because I don't know what to say and I don't know what to do. I need to do something because this is not cool. So tell me, what part did you not understand? Was it hi, how are you, or do you have a man? It comes common when I communicate. I give compliments that just complicate because I don't know what to say and I don't know what to do. I need to do something because this is not cool. Mr. Smead, tell me why she's not hooked to this lost boy elegant like a book. Loving you with evening delights. I dream a little dream that you want me tonight. Passion, a little vanilla on satin. Passion is just a process of relaxing. But as soon as I get over this word hurdle, let's insert those times that I share. Hope you prepared. Let me be clear. I will love you here. You see, when I talk to the ladies, they go, huh? What? And then I stand there and I get stuck because I don't know what to say and I don't know what to do. I need to do something because this is not cool. So, is it because I don't sound intelligent that you don't like me? Really? You know what? I can see between your eyes. Remove your disguise. It's written on your eyes. Here's a fun fact. 9% of black kids have speech disorders. And sons are 3 times likely to have it than daughters. So as an executive of blue collar, I'm going to have this problem. So why even bother? Do I sound unintelligent? What does past show my intent? See, I got a parcel of rhymes that I use in poetry, created with different schemes so you would notice me. So for this to happen massively, to match this catastrophe, you might have to change drastically. Classically, I'm used to verbal wounds from society, but a strong will needs notoriety. So when I talk to the ladies and they go, huh? What? Yo, I will not stand there and I will not get stuck because I know what to say and I know what to do. So if I can't get your number, will Facebook do? Thank you. All right. Too much poetry here. And now we're going to bring another poet so we get some more poetry out for you. I'd like to bring up the man who's been a longtime fan of the show, but he's also 7th place strongman winner. I'd like to give you none other than the strength and poetry of Corey Vance.
Thank you. So, as we get into the poetry tonight, I'd like to talk to you briefly about the difference between a love poem and a poem that is about love. So, I've been a poet for almost 2 decades, and anytime you spend so much time invested in one thing, it changes your perspective a little bit in a way that can change how you experience certain things in life, mundane things in life. For me, one of those things is the experience of listening to music in public. So like grocery stores, coffee shops, places like that where music is on in the background. It's not in the background for me. For me, I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm breaking them down, I'm thinking about them, and I'm judging them. Lyrics are much like poetry, so that makes sense. What I've learned is that love songs have the worst lyrics. Love songs always have the worst lyrics, and I'll give you an example. There's a coffee shop that I go to very often to write, and a few months ago, the same love song played over and over and over. It probably played 3 or 4 times every time I was there. It was driving me insane. And that love song is the song Grenade by Bruno Mars. Are we familiar with this song? All right. No, sing it. Second that. We'll have a sing-along in the parking lot after. So I will refresh your memory on the song, though. If you need a refresher, the song Grenade by Bruno Mars, the premise of that song is that Bruno is very much in love with a woman. And throughout the song, this woman is referred to as Ya. That's how she's referred to. So Bruno is so in love with Ya that for Ya, Bruno would do unbelievable things, like catch a grenade, or endure any pain, or accept a bullet straight to the brain. A bit much, you know, a bit much. And as ridiculous as all of those lines are, there's one particular lyric in this song that I am not exaggerating, I think about every day. Every day I think about this lyric because it bothers me so much. And that lyric goes like this. Bruno claims, I would jump out in front of a train for you. I would jump out in front of a train for you. Fucking why? I need to know the scenario. Is she at risk of getting hit by the train? And you're just like, you're not Mr. Incredible. Just both of you, you know? And I mean, fucking give her a sturdy nudge and you can make it out of this. And I'm going to move on to the point, but not for nothing. If the person that you love, is just on the tracks, like watching the lights get bigger, she's not the one, Bruno. Like, she's not the one. But this is my point. Love songs and love poems, they're not honest. They say ridiculous things. They don't have to make sense, and they don't even have to be good, because that's not the goal of a love song or a love poem. The goal is to get laid, and that's the one and only goal. You'll say anything. It's very much like picking someone up at a bar. Very much like picking up someone at a bar where you will say anything, absolutely, unless you're me. then you'll say things, did you know hummingbirds can't smell or something? That's how I flirt. But if you had a normal childhood, then you'll say anything at a bar. And that's why I write poems about love, because poems about love happen after. So where a love poem says, I would like to fuck, a poem about love says, I got fucked. So I have two poems about love for you tonight that I'd love to share. And this first poem is called Pig Salt. So Pig Salt kind of starts with a story, and it's a true story about my life. This happened when I was living in Tennessee. I was working on a farm as a farmhand. I used to work on farms. And it was a hot summer day. I was out in the pasture, and I was running away from a pig. And this pig weighed 900 pounds. So 900 pounds. They weigh that much. And she was very fast. And like big pink cannonball, just boom, 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 boom. Now, this was not a mistake. This was a job that was assigned to me by the farmer who was my employer at the time. I had to be a distraction for the angry sow. And a sow is an adult female pig. Every other morning I would feed grain to the sow, and she, wanting a hug, would rub her itchy flanks on my thighs. The farmer and his daughter were engaged in the worker's necessity of torment. They were catching the sow's piglets, pink and black, in a net and dumping them in a truck bed. They would then hold the piglets up by the hind legs and coat their underparts in rust-colored iodine. And then they castrated the piglets with a razor blade. You got to do it or the meat tastes bad. And just to paint the picture, there's a lot more of than you'd want. My task was to threaten the pigs like I was going to take them, and then run very fast from the grunting wrath of their mother. And then I would jump over a fence higher than any pig has ever flown. Now I did this once, and then again, and then again, and then forever, until my canvas overalls were drenched in Tennessee August and my ankles ached with the weight of my boots. Now, I dated the farmer's daughter. Hard, and with arms wrapped around her shoulders like vines. They would not bloom because of the salt. I once watched her botch the butchering of a rabbit, and its screams sounded like a child's while the snow-white fur around its neck soaked in red. I dated the daughter, hard, until my feet burned from walking in the salt, and I slid my motorcycle at 50 miles an hour across the wet asphalt in New Orleans, shredding my skin. She was the one who held the razor to the pigs, and now she spoke with salt on her lips, asking me to fuck while I lay bleeding in the sheets. I didn't have enough bandages to cover my wounds. I asked her if she would go to the CVS less than a mile down the road and buy me more, and she screamed that she would not. I need to interject here real quick and just let you know that this motorcycle accident was technically her fault, and allegedly it was on purpose. Just saying. While we were still in Louisiana, she cried and screamed and cried until I agreed that we would ride on our motorcycles through the thudding clay rain all the way back to her home in Tennessee. All right, and one more interjection. We very easily could have waited until the next day and missed all of the rain. I do take full responsibility for that one for being a chump. And from that point in life, I want to assure you I've been more than happy to let the women in my life scream. We were not pigs. We were not pigs. We did not love the rain or each other, even when mixed with the scent of Alabama pine trees. After 8 hours of drowning on our rumbling bikes, I paid a stranger in Mississippi $40 to let us sleep in his trailer. Weeks later, I flew to Hawaii. I told her that we would meet again in 2 months after I finished a job that I'd lined up there. I didn't have a job, and I did not have enough money for a return ticket. The day I landed, we spoke on the phone, and I told her there are storms and sodium in the soil. The time is gone when flower petals can be printed in an almanac. Pigs are the only animals who really know how to smile. Their hair, like needles, rubs softly on your thighs, just because of grain, just because of sunrise. That is a poem about love. I'll never get laid off that poem, but I will have poetic integrity, and that's better. I moved to Sacramento in 2018. And in 2019, I met a woman and we started dating. In 2020, March of 2020, about 4 days before the COVID-19 lockdown, I broke up with her. And I don't access my emotions well because of my childhood. And you probably could not discern from the tone of my voice, but that was very much a flex. I'm very proud of my decision to break up with my ex-girlfriend 4 days before the pandemic. I saw people getting arrested in Italy for walking their cats and shit. I'm not getting locked in a room with this woman. And but during the, I'm just playing. I wish her well. But there we go. I didn't catch it. During the pandemic, I wrote the poem about that love experience. It's called 2019. It's my last poem for tonight, and it's written in 8 parts. 1, it isn't that we weren't in love. It's just the violins are out of tune. One time, a teacher told me that laboratories can make the color blue. Meanwhile, the job of God got lost to automation. Meanwhile, the fresh water is distilled into vodka for novelty shot glasses. Meanwhile, the economy turns muggy mosquito hot and wilts with the lilies. Meanwhile, all the kids fall in love. 2, I called my sister and told her I met somebody. My sister and I, we shared a childhood with Lincoln Logs and farmer grandpas. We both had dreams. She found hers in a preacher's hand. Me, my dreams are gum stuck in the woods 40 years from now, in the woods in the Holy Land in tomorrow's hot, hot world, where the gardens still grow, where there are grandchildren to plant cucumber seeds. 3, I never made it out of a child's wishes, lost in the breeze, attached by prayer to duck down dandelion seeds. One time, I ate yellow dandelion flowers with a poor man in his slumlord's yard where the sun sets over abandoned factories. 4, the stage is set. Giant Ronald McDonald balloons are parading through the mean streets of the American city, anchored by flatbed trucks filled to the rails with children, wearing church robes and goggles, playing television, dry skin, knocking knees, all the kids stand and sing, "Fuck the billionaires." 5, I watched the parade go by with her. She had little suns in her eyes, and it made me want to hold her hand and catch candy with my other hand. It made me want to watch the balloons disappear around the corner year after year. She asked me if I would follow them down a rose petal road where we could walk into our death, and she had rose petals tattooed on her skin. 6, the cities of men cannot keep up with all the people pushing out of pussies. They just slide right out onto the curb. In a deplorable, adorable infant herd stampeding the highways of the Midwest, the babies toddling on wobbly legs, their heads bobbling on licorice necks. An industrial revolution made asphalt for their sensitive heads. They charged the LED billboards, blazing the light of lipstick ads over hordes of feeder pigs filled to the snouts with hormones and demons. Jesus! Find us another cliff already. 7, I stood on a cliff with her, holding her hips. 8, one time a teacher told me the best way to understand history is to study war. My parents wouldn't get a divorce. God doesn't like those for some reason. There's a story in the Bible where the Pharaoh wouldn't believe the plagues were from God. What took that king so long? I believe atoms are mostly empty space. I believe in atom bombs. Thank you so much, Stab Comedy Theater. My name's Corey Vance. Corey spelled K-O-R-Y. You can follow me on Instagram at Strength in Poetry. Just look up Strength in Poetry. You'll see where I'm performing, competing, and what I'm writing. Give it up for Sharon.
Give it up once again for Corey. Wow. Really? You had a first almost for the pandemic, almost been a living experience? Nice. Wow, that's pretty enlightening. Scary thoughts. No. Yeah. Corey is also one of the people that I rap with. So if you don't know, we do have a poetry community here in Sacramento. I know some of y'all are like, what the heck do you mean this? So this poetry thing is not a 1, 2, 3 person. There is actually a group of community people that do poetry here. If you ever go to Luna's, check it out at Luna's on Thursday, tomorrow, and go check out the poetry scene over there, and also at Sacramento Poetry Center. There's actually a center here. Go figure. I'm a vice president. Screw it. and I'm also a DJ. So during my life as a DJ, my career, I've noticed one thing in my life. Musicians lie. They lie. And you ask me, how do they lie? Well, they lie in their lyrics. As you hear from Corey, he pointed out about that grenade lyric in freaking Bruno Mars. I did not know that. Now I gotta listen to that damn thing again. Screwed up. They lie in their lyrics. So, Kurt Cobain, if you don't know who Kurt Cobain is, it's Nirvana. Kurt Cobain of Nirvana said he never had a gun. I'm assuming some of y'all are too young for that. God damn. She knows, but same with Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse says she never go to rehab. I want y'all to Spotify these dang songs because y'all looking at me like, what the hell is he talking about? Do you even know who Stevie Wonder is? You know what he said? He said he saw a woman in red. Scary thoughts. Damn. Anyway, we're going to bring up our next performer. She is a comic extraordinaire. She was once my comedian teacher. Yes, she was my teacher in comedy. Scary thought. She runs also a moving comedy group called Moving Van Show. The Moving Van Show is coming out once again. I think it's this Friday or Saturday. It's a Saturday. So go check it out because she does some wonderful things. I'd like to give you the one, the only, Melissa McGillicuddy!
All right, thank you. Completely unrelated to Corey's poem, I'm now vegan. So Corey, you're a poet and a bodybuilder? I was like, those two things don't normally go together. Which came first? Did you like become a bodybuilder to like defend yourself as a poet? Yes? All right. I figured that one out. So also like the other comedian Tess, I suck a lot of dick. Thank you. You don't usually see those two things together either. How y'all doing tonight? You guys ready to get intimate? She's like, no. Absolutely not. I did not sign a consent form for this. No, this is good. Thanks for coming out tonight. I actually didn't know I was supposed to do jokes. I just have 3 different poems. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any fucking I don't have any poems. I was thinking earlier, like the closest I got to writing a poem, Sharon, talk about feeling old. So when Princess Diana died, I was in a guitar class and we had to do an original song. And so I was like, I'm gonna write a song about Princess Diana. And so I was like, that was the closest. I'm not gonna look. Trust and believe I still know the lyrics to that song. But no, it's not. It's really more sad than funny. But have me back on for poetry night, and I'll I'll bring my guitar. I know the chords still, so Princess Diana, am I right? No, I'm wrong. So the plot to Pinocchio is kind of weird, isn't it? We're just gonna dive right into the jokes. I feel like I warmed you guys up. We got a little lubed up. We had some laughs. Now we're just gonna dive right into it. Yeah, the plot to Pinocchio is kind of weird, right? Like, so for those of you who don't remember, it's a story about an old man who wishes dolls into little boys, and his name's Geppetto. That's all I have right now, but I mean, what else is there to say, right? I mean, I've pretty much covered it all. Any cannabis enthusiasts here in the audience tonight? Okay, couple people. You know, partaking in cannabis in the evening for me is like having a glass of wine after work. But I can't have a glass of wine because I'll have 40. But I can definitely have one glass of weed. That's easy. Actually, that's not even true anymore. So someone gave me a joint recently, and normally I don't smoke. I'm more of an edible gal, if you know what I mean. And so I was like, whatever, I don't really smoke, no big deal. Like, weed is weed, and my favorite kind of weed is free weed. No, I was wrong. I immediately became addicted to smoking joints, right? Like within 24 hours, I was at a Snoop Dogg level of smoking joints, you know? And then I'm like on the computer Googling, like, is marijuana's anonymous? Like, even, do I need to start going? Is that even a thing? And it is a thing. You just show up and they tell you to knock that shit off. It's just the one step, really, which is kind of more my speed. But no, seriously though, I do have a drinking problem. I can drink like 10 to 12 sparkling waters in a day. Like, I have a very refined sparkling water palate. Like, don't try to give me that shit in a plastic bottle, right? Like, I want a Topo Chico or a can, right? Like a real man. Thank you. But then I started, like, the sparkling water habit's getting, like, a little bit out of hand, you know? And so I was, like, Googling, like, is sparkling waters anonymous, like, a thing? And it is. It's really cute, though. They just call it Sparklers Anonymous because it kind of just flows off the tongue a little bit. All right, that's that one. I have been on a big self-help kick recently. Thank you. You guys, too? I got a new therapist. Hey, thank you. Yeah. What's that? Therapy is great. I thought you said, what's her name? I was like, we'll talk after the show. Like, are you in the market? No, I had previously been seeing a different therapist, but she left her practice. So I decided that I won. That's how it works. If you tell your therapist your problems and they quit, then you win therapy. Thank you. Fast forward to present day, turns out I'm not winning. So I went out and I got a new therapist. And I immediately didn't like her just because she wasn't my old therapist. But now that I've gotten to know her, we've had some sessions together. Absolutely not. Still hate the bitch. It's not going to work out. I just feel like she doesn't understand me. You know, like we have some communication problems. So I'm at the point now where I'm ready to go to therapy with my therapist just so we can work through some of these issues, right? So this one time she was giving me some good advice, which I agreed with. So I said, for show. And she said, excuse me? And then I realized I was getting kind of like a great aunt grandma vibe. So then I was like, I mean, I am in accord with what you are saying. I was like, for sure. It's like your generation's 'twas. I think that she knows that I don't like her, though, because last time I saw her, I said to her, I don't like you. I know, that was cruel, right? But she's such a pro, you know, just didn't skip a beat. She was like, how does that make you feel? And I was like, I don't want to pay my copay. Let's wrap this up. I got a new kitten recently. Where my crazy cat lady's at? I was like, it's a you have cats? Do you feel like are you a crazy cat lady in training? And by crazy cat lady, I mean that to be a gender neutral term. Yeah. They come with the territory and dogs. What do you mean by that? Like you just wake up and there's cats in your house and you're like, well, they fucking come with the territory. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No, that's fair game. No, but I do feel you though, because like I was not looking for a cat. They do. They come to you. And so some friends of mine, they had picked up a stray and they were like, we can't keep this bitch. You got to take her. And so they sent me some pictures to try to like lure me into this scenario. And I was like, this cat looks kind of janky. Like, right? I was like, what do I want with this piece of shit looking cat? But I'm also codependent, so I didn't want to say no. So I came up with this great plan, right? I was like, I'm going to go meet this piece of shit looking cat and then just be like, oh, I don't know. I don't think it's a good fit, right? And then it makes it look like I made a real good faith effort, you know, like I'm not the bad guy. But I can see the look in some of your eyes. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this, right? Because like the first rule of Fight Club is if you don't want to adopt a cat, you don't go meet the cat. Like, yeah, I mean, I know that now because I show up and she's adorable and she jumps in my lap and she starts purring. And it turns out the camera adds 10 pounds of jank, which I did not know. So yeah, now I have Sassy. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Look, Sassy's she's in the bathroom, so we can talk a little bit of shit about her. The only problem with Sassy is that she likes to eat the house plants, right? And so I'm also, do you have house plants? I was like, don't throw them in the mix. If you don't, just the dogs, the cats, everybody's going to go after them. And I was like, I'm a plant daddy too, so I want to make sure everybody's taken care of. So I turned to Google to try to figure out how can I get my cat to stop eating the plants. And Google was like, just sprinkle some cayenne powder in the soil. And I was like, okay, I come home, she's just doing lines of cayenne powder. She does not care. So I went back to Google. Google was like, that didn't work. Try some citrus, a little bit of lime. Put that, you know, cats don't like lime. I'm like, I'm basically just seasoning the plant for her at this point, you know? I'm like, eat up, bitch. They don't have plant-based tacos at the shelter. Sassy's a good girl. I got a massage. I'm just been on this like big self-help kick, you know? It's like therapy, the cat, a massage. Actually, a friend had gotten me a gift card because I'm not about to pay for that shit. But so I went on the website to make an appointment for this massage, and I noticed that the massage dude was a dude, which I initially was not into, despite all that dick sucking talk I was talking about earlier. But then I kind of was clicking around on the website, you know, and I was like, oh, this guy's gay. Like, I was like, that's fine. Like, a gay guy can touch me. So I make the appointment. I show up. This guy is not gay, right? Like, whatever twink filter he's using on his website is not coming through in real life. So now I'm in this, like, small enclosed place with him, and he's telling me to undress to my level of comfort, right? So I take off my earrings and my Fitbit. I didn't even take my shoes off because I was like, this guy has a foot fetish. The massage was fine. It was okay. It was a massage. The fingering was superb, though. I mean, come on. How else did I find out he's not gay? It's a thinker. So COVID's over. All right, good. You laugh. That's the joke. Highbrow comedy here tonight. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's like I feel like I'm a true Gemini living two lives where I'm like still fully believing that COVID is out there and hella paranoid, but also ignoring COVID. Are we all just doing that, living that duality right now? Yeah. But I'm also like, the biggest thing for me with COVID is that like I've learned that I don't need to leave the house for anything, right? We've learned we can survive at home. Everything can be DoorDashed, right? And so I'm having a tough time like leaving the house. Plus I feel like there's always something going on in my neighborhood because I'm always just watching shit like a creeper out my window, you know? Anyone else? Not like in a creepy way, just like more in a safe health and safety kind of a way, right? Exactly. Yeah, what happens in public domain is public domain. So there was a car accident outside my apartment recently, right? This is like better than Netflix. And I see the police are approaching. And so I was like, all right, now I'm fully invested. I went and got binoculars. Like, I didn't even know I owned binoculars. Like, even Sassy was watching. She had little opera glasses. So the driver of the vehicle was standing outside of the vehicle, waiting for the police to approach. And he reaches into his pocket and he throws something behind him into the grass. And I was like, oh, those are the drugs. Like, those are definitely the drugs, right? And I can I'm seeing all of this through the binocs, you know? And I know that looked like a dick coming at my face, but that was binoculars. So I got distracted with all those dicks in my face. So I was like, those are the drugs, right? This guy's taking a picture of all the dicks in my face. He's like, I gotta get that. So now I'm like waiting for like either the cops to find the drugs or everyone to leave so I can go out and find the drugs. Just for science, right? Like, I didn't want them for me because I figured someone else was also watching and this was gonna turn into some like No Country for Old Men kind of shit. So finally everybody leaves. I go out and it's the middle of the day and I'm just digging around in the grass like a tweaker, you know? And I find this packet in the grass. There was actually something in there. I was kind of surprised. I was like, okay. And on the packet, it said Blue Chew. And I was like, I don't know what that is. So I threw that back into the grass. But I'm a curious fella, so I Googled it. And it turns out Blue Chew is for erectile dysfunction. Right? I was like, oh, this poor guy didn't want to get busted for having a limp dick. Like, but also, I don't, when I read Blue Chew, I immediately just processed that as Blue's Clues. Like, that's what like my brain processed, and I was like, that's a weird image to like get in your head as you're getting a boner. It's like a kids TV show. I mean, unless you're Geppetto. Ayo, a Pinocchio callback. But then I gathered when I said Blue Chew, some of you didn't react, so I'm gathering that some of you didn't know what Blue Chew was. So, in a way, this joke was educational, just like Blue's Clues. Thank you. That's the whole one there. Yeah. You guys, anyone watching TikTok? Too many TikTok videos? Yeah. What about you? You don't have TikTok? We gotta get it on your phone right now. It's so funny. Anybody who's like, I don't want to get on TikTok because of all the data they collect. And I was like, honey, you have a phone. Like, throw away your phone, throw away your laptop, like, just go out into the wilderness, get off the grid. Yeah, everybody already has all your data. So if that's your concern, I'm not buying it. But I just love watching TikTok videos, right? Because I just have like that 1 minute of attention span. Like, that's all I have. But recently I noticed that I feel like I've kind of gotten on the wrong side of TikTok, right? Because I keep getting these videos telling me the proper way to take a shower, right? And I was like, I knew my phone was listening. I didn't know it was also smelling. So I got one recently and it was telling me, it was like, hey, guess what? Spoiler alert, you can't just use soap and water. You've also got to use a washcloth. And I was like, I use Nature's washcloth, the bar of soap, thank you very much. And then it also said, also you can't use the same washcloth like day after day without washing it, like you have to wash it. And then I was like, who's using the same washcloth more than once? All right, everybody in this room except for them. All right, cool. Listen, you guys, here's my PSA. There's like an order of operations with the washcloth, right? Like, you start with your face, and you end with your butthole. You can't start your day with yesterday's butthole on today's face. Oh shit, I take it back, I am a fucking poet. Crochet that on a pillow. Yes, just like Blue's Clues, stick around. Even little things like we're supposed to be going out and like running errands and like taking care of ourselves. I'm having a hard time with that. Like, even just like going out and getting a haircut. Like, my girlfriend's still cutting my hair. Thank you. I'll let her know that you don't care. But this also kind of stemmed from the pandemic, right? Remember, we couldn't go get our hair cut. All the Karens got really upset. They were like protesting to get their fucking hair cut. I just realized now that sounds like the most Karen shit I've ever said. Look, if anything, I'm a Darren, not a Karen, all right? But no, I remember like when the pandemic first hit, I needed a haircut, and I didn't have any clippers because I'm not that kind of gay. But my girlfriend, you know, she volunteered as tribute. She was like, I have clippers, I can cut your hair. And then she's like, in fact, I used to cut hair. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that about you. I feel like we're learning so much about each other here in couples therapy. The quarantine. So you know how we're always making small talk with our hairstylists, right? So when my girlfriend was cutting my hair, I was like, so where did you cut hair before here? And that's when I learned that my girlfriend used to be a dog groomer. And these were her dog's clippers. Just want to give a quick shout out to Lord Percival Flopbottom for letting me borrow your clippers. I know, it's kind of a silly name, right? I didn't have anything to do with it. It was more of a stepdog kind of a situation. But I'll tell you what, this one time we did have to take the dog to the vet, and I don't know, they must have gotten his name wrong on the chart somehow. I don't know how you mess up a name like Lord Percival Flopbottom. But the vet tech came out of the waiting room, and she was just like, the Lord? The Lord? And then finally I realized she was talking to us. It's because we were the only people in the waiting room. But I was like, yeah, we just call him Percy for short. We don't want to give him a lord complex. We actually broke up. I just really like telling that joke. So I'm going through a breakup. It's all right. It's pretty fresh. We broke up just over a year ago. So still really fresh, really new. Trying to work through it. Here's the thing. My ex was a dog lover. I don't know if you got that from the dog clippers that she was cutting my hair with, but yeah, I'm more of a dog liker. Right? Like, I mean, I like animals, don't get me wrong. I just didn't realize I was going to be in a polyamorous relationship with my girlfriend and her dog. I remember when we first started, it was like getting kind of serious. Me and the girlfriend, not the dog. And I was staying over a lot, you know, so I brought an extra toothbrush to keep over, and I had to move her dog's toothbrush out of the way to make room for mine. That's a joke. So eventually I remember I Googled, like, my girlfriend and I fight about her dog. And Google kicked it back to me, and they were like, you're not the only one. Like, there was articles on this shit, right? You know, so I was like, I feel comfort knowing that I'm not the only one. And how am I doing on time? Can I finish this story? It's going to be about 20, 35, 40 minutes, you guys. Jesse, lock the doors. I'm going to work through this trauma on stage. No, so I do remember I found an article, and basically the article was saying, like, even though you're fighting about the dog, it's not really about the dog. And I was like, no, I'm pretty fucking sure it's about the dog. Like, the dog's the one that pissed in the bed and threw up in my shoe 2 weeks ago, right? Like, I was like, I kind of feel like my ex wrote this article just to convince me that it wasn't the fucking dog. It's the dog. I remember she was telling me one time about a time she had to take her dog to the vet. This was a different dog than the male dog that I was telling you about earlier. There's multiple dogs. Look, I got to get my story straight here. Now, I don't remember what the ailment was, but I do remember that she told me that she had to rub ointment on her dog's vulva. That's a vagina, if you didn't know. That's the outer vagina. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, right? Like, your face says it all. Like, I was like, look, I love animals. I even had an animal care business, but like, no, I've never, no vet's ever instructed me to do that. I kind of feel like she just did that on her own. You know, like, she goes back for a follow-up, and the vet's like, why were you rubbing ointment on her vulva? Like, she had strep throat. I was like, if a vet told me to do that shit, I would be like, no. you take my dog in the back and you traumatize the shit out of her. Like, that's what you went to vet school for, right? I was like, I gotta take this bitch home and look at her, you know? Like, I'm not about to go DJ Diddles on my dog. All right, I'm gonna end it on DJ Diddles, you guys. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This was a lot of fun.
Give it up once again for Melissa Diddles. Woo! Wow. I thought I had dog problems. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you. Thank you. We would not be here without you if you didn't, but we would still be doing the show. Just be a little weirder. Anyway, thanks for coming out. We'll be back here once again in November 16th. We got 2 new comics. We got another poet. I'll be doing a few poems and stuff, but I'm always the host. I don't say much of anything else except those poems here. Yeah. If you want to see more shows at Stab Comedy, come again tomorrow. There'll be an open mic, and there'll also be Stab, the actual little improv show that they do on Fridays with Willie Listens on Friday. So check it out. I want to say once again, thank you to Jesse Jones for bringing us out here. I want to thank to everyone out there who's been watching on the scenes. Yes, we've been watched by other people while y'all are right there. It's scary, huh? On streaming. We're in person and streaming. We're so scary people. Once again, come back again next month where we have more people and we'll have more poets, and they'll all be on this stage. Did y'all enjoy yourselves? Were y'all entertained? I am Sharon Smith. Please check me out on Rest Wonder, RES Wonder on Instagram, and Serious Production on all social media. And we'll be back again soon. Take care. Jesse, take me out.
Thank you, everybody. That is it for us for the evening. That song didn't start hot enough. We need there close enough. All right, that's what we've got. Check out stabcomedytheater.com for the full calendar of events. We're here live in person, usually Thursdays through Sundays, and we're streaming 6 nights a week, live improv, stand-up, sketch podcast, and gaming streams. So join us. Like Sharon said, open mic tomorrow. Big slate of stuff on Friday and Saturday. Check out the calendar. We'll see you Friday. We don't stream the... Oh, you just missed it. Sorry, Jason. You just missed Loudmouths. Yeah. We'll see you back here Friday. Have a good night.
Across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you the world.